Today's news highlights. Time cutoff, 1700 hours. News headline, the Hualien earthquake with a magnitude of 7.2 has caused 9 deaths and 1,011 injuries. 28 buildings have collapsed. Hualien will be declared as a disaster area. Release time, April 3, 2024. Data reference, Yahoo News. News focus, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake occurred offshore Hualien this morning, causing the entire Taiwan to shake and causing severe damage. President Tsai Ing-wen quickly went to the Central Disaster Response Center to listen to the report and emphasized that rescue was the priority. As of 10 p.m., disaster statistics nationwide had resulted in 9 deaths, 1,011 injuries, and 143 people trapped. The disaster was particularly severe in the Hualien area, with many foreigners trapped in the mountainous area. All units are actively carrying out rescue operations, but there are still many aftershocks and the public should remain vigilant. The government has activated relevant mechanisms to fully assist in rescue efforts and called on the public to avoid activities in disaster areas and mountainous areas to ensure safety. News headline, after the Hualien earthquake, the fire alarm in Donghua University's Polytechnic Building 1 once heard an explosion, and the scene was filled with thick smoke. Release time, April 3, 2024. Data reference, Yahoo News. News highlights, a magnitude 7.2 earthquake occurred in Hualien this morning, causing a fire on the 4th floor of the first building of Donghua University Polytechnic Institute. There was thick smoke, and there was even an explosion after the fire lasted for several hours. Preliminary estimates are that it was caused by an earthquake, but the specific cause has yet to be clarified by police investigation. Fortunately, no students were in the building when the fire broke out. The fire brigade has started extinguishing the fire and will conduct further investigation after the fire is extinguished. News headline, let go of rice food. The expert meeting of the Ministry of Health and Welfare approved that the name of orozoic acid will be changed to bunkeric acid from now on. Release time, April 3, 2024. Data reference, Yahoo News. News highlights, the Ministry of Health and Welfare held an expert meeting this morning to discuss the Bailin Tea House food poisoning case. The experts unanimously decided to change the name of ricobacteric acid to bankrylic acid to avoid misunderstandings and panic. The meeting also emphasized that plasmapheresis is currently the most effective treatment method. The Food and Drug Administration will issue relevant prevention guidelines, including professional guidelines for the general public and food businesses, to increase prevention awareness and measures. News headline, better than National Alert? This app rings 30 seconds in advance. Villagers praised it, it's really powerful. Release time, April 3, 2024. Data reference, Yahoo News. News highlights, a magnitude 7.2 earthquake occurred in Taiwan today, causing panic among the people. A netizen recommended the KNY Taiwan Weather Earthquake Quick Report app on PTT, saying that the app sends an alarm about 30 seconds before an earthquake, and its accuracy is amazing. Other netizens have confirmed its effectiveness, but pointed out that it currently only supports Android systems and cannot be used on iOS, causing many iOS users to cry. The incident caused widespread discussion among netizens. News headline, someone threw food? Experts reveal the truth after seeing a ball of cold noodles and transparent konjac on Kinmen Beach. Release time, April 3, 2024. Data reference, Yahoo News. News highlights, recently, netizens discovered a lump of objects that looked like cold noodles in a green and transparent konjac-like substance on Kinmen Beach, which caused heated discussion. After answering, experts pointed out that these are actually the eggs of Aplysia. Aplysia is a hermaphrodite and will lay eggs on rocks or hard substrates during the breeding season. The egg masses are shaped like cold noodles. The public is reminded not to touch or move when encountered, as sea hares may secrete toxic body fluids. News headline, Taiyuan prison allowed 4 people including Wu Zheming, a serious murderer, to be released. CAI Qingxiang wants the Department of Correction to review and fix loopholes. Release time, April 3, 2024. Data reference, Mirror News. News highlights, Taiyuan prison in Taitung was suspected of tampering with parole scores, resulting in the serious criminal Wu Zheming being released in September 2021 without serving 15 to 25 years in prison. The Ministry of Justice has asked the Department of Correction to conduct an in-depth review and send relevant personnel to the department. The counselor involved in the case, surnamed Li, has been transferred and recorded a demerit, and the investigation showed that there were 3 other scores that were wrongly registered, and the traceability has been completed. The Director of Corrections explained that the error was caused by pre-filling scores on paper and the employee did not review them. The case has been sent to the Taitung District Prosecutor's Office for investigation. The prison authorities have revoked Wu Zheming's parole permission and arrested him for prosecution. News headline, people in some areas did not receive the national warning. The Meteorological Administration explained 3 reasons, it will be improved. Release time, April 3, 2024. Data reference, Mirror News. News highlights: a magnitude 7.2 earthquake occurred in Hualien this morning. The whole Taiwan felt the shaking, but Zhuangbei and other places did not receive national earthquake or tsunami warnings. The Central Meteorological Administration stated that there are 3 reasons why the warning has not been issued. First, the warning has been issued through the main reporting channels. Second, the estimated earthquake intensity in some areas has not reached level 4, which does not meet the PWS warning threshold. Third, the initial estimated scale is too low. This resulted in insufficient earthquake intensity estimates in some areas. The Meteorological Department promises to continue to review and improve to ensure the accuracy of warnings. News headline: Don't be afraid of things falling when an earthquake comes. Japan Net strongly recommends earthquake-proof artifact available in Taiwan for 49 yuan. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Mirror News. News highlights: after the 7.2 Hualien earthquake, Japanese netizens recommended Daiso department stores anti-shock pads, which can fix 3C home appliances and items, effectively reducing damage caused by earthquakes. This mat is made of rubber material, which can disperse vibration and prevent items from falling. It is also removable and washable, which is convenient and environmentally friendly. Both sizes come in a pack of 4 pieces, with a maximum weight capacity of 16 kilograms and 15 kilograms respectively. A pack is priced at NT $49. In addition to Daiso, Japan's Amazon also has similar products, and some even claim to be able to withstand earthquakes of magnitude 7. News title: Check the structure of your home after an earthquake. Follow these 3 steps, from outside to inside, from bottom to top, beams, columns, walls and floors. Release time: April 3, 2024. Information reference: Shangzhou Fortune Network. News highlights: Worried about damage to your home environment after an earthquake? Experts recommend using the steps of outside in, bottom up, beams, columns, walls and floors for inspection. First, turn off the gas switch and confirm the condition of the water and electricity pipelines. Observe from the outside in to see if the building is tilted or the tiles are peeling off, and then check from the bottom up to see if there are cracks in the columns and walls, or exposed steel bars. Finally, carefully inspect the beams, columns, load-bearing walls and floor slabs to see if there are diagonal cracks. In addition, it is also very important to regularly check the shelves, high cabinet fixings, escape routes, gas pipelines, glass strength, etc. on weekdays. When going out, avoid walking in high places to prevent being injured by falling objects. News headline: Earthquake magnitude 7.2. Is the house you live in earthquake resistant enough? Structural technicians teach you 6 questions that only experts will ask. Release time: April 3, 2024. Information reference: Shangzhou Fortune Network. News highlight: If a structural technician cannot be found, home buyers can use the following 6-point method to initially evaluate the structural safety of the house. First, ask about the design features of the structural system to understand the structural safety of the house. Secondly, ask about the earthquake resistance level of the house. The higher the earthquake resistance, the higher the safety. Furthermore, pay attention to the reinforcement of the wall reinforcements around the windows and the quality of structural construction. In addition, learn about the measures to strengthen structural crack prevention and water leakage prevention. Through these questions, you can make a preliminary assessment of the structural safety of the house and reduce the risk of buying a house. News headline: Compare strong earthquakes 25 years apart. 403 hit Hualien hard, 921 left shocking and rare in the world. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: At 7:58 a.m. on April 3, an earthquake measuring 7.2 on the Richter scale was felt across Taiwan. The epicenter was located 25.0 kilometers south-southeast of the Hualien County government and the earthquake depth was 15.5 kilometers. Aftershocks were frequent, with a total of 28, one of which had a magnitude of 6.5, and the others were all below magnitude 4. Compared with the 921 earthquake in 1999, although today's earthquake did not cause serious casualties, there were collapses of houses and falling rocks in some areas. The 921 earthquake caused the worst natural disaster in Taiwan's history, with 2,415 people dead and 11,305 injured, causing heavy losses. The casualties of today's 403 earthquake have not yet been determined. News headline: How to prevent yourself from aging too quickly. Research shows that improving this thing can make you at least 5 years younger. Release time: April 2, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: Sleep plays a key role in slowing down aging. Studies have pointed out that sleep quality is closely related to age perception. Adequate sleep can make you feel 5 to 10 years younger than your actual age. People who don't get enough sleep or have poor sleep quality are prone to mood swings and fatigue, and may experience accelerated aging. The most appropriate sleep time is 7.5 hours, which can protect brain health and prevent cognitive impairment and chronic diseases. Therefore, a good night's sleep is an important secret to maintaining youthful vitality. News headline: Yoshitomo Narapungu's Exploration Hall debuts on March 29. Pottery works exhibited in Taiwan for the first time. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: from March 29 to September 1, 2024, Yoshitomo Nara's Going to Penghu on a Hazy and Humid Day special exhibition was held at the Penghu Development Hall. The exhibition includes the painting Hazy and Humid Day, pottery works exhibited in Taiwan for the first time, creative manuscripts and photography works, etc. Admission to the exhibition is free, but you need to make a reservation in advance on the Penghu County Government official website. There are 5 exhibitions open every day, and the exhibition is closed on Mondays, Tuesdays, and national holidays. Special opening on April 4 and April 5 during the Tomb Sweeping Day holiday. The exhibition presents a home-like atmosphere and displays a variety of works, including large paintings, photography, and pottery works, giving the audience a rich visual feast. News headline: No going back. Ma Junlin disappeared for 2 months, sudden bad news? Black and white photo, 4 words to express your heartfelt feelings. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: Ma Junlin played the role of Jong Boen in FTV's 8 o'clock Glory of Love. The plot developed unexpectedly, from a love-struck and sweet man to an adulterous man, and finally disappeared for more than 2 months. In the latest trailer, Jong Junhan, who plays his father, heartbrokenly announced that Boen passed away. The plot took an unexpected turn. Ma Junlin also posted a black and white photo on social media, saying that the scene had come to an end, causing fans to be shocked and reluctant. The change in this plot is surprising and makes the audience full of expectations for the next plot. News headline: The 7.2 strong earthquake in Hualien is a great blessing among misfortunes. A vote of netizens revealed the key: I can't imagine it. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: The Hualien earthquake occurred the day before the Qingming festival holiday, which makes people wonder whether it was lucky timing. Netizens pointed out that if the earthquake occurs at the official start of the holiday period, it may lead to more tragedies, especially mentioning that the Suhua Highway may cause greater casualties. Many people agree with this view and regard it as a lucky coincidence. However, the earthquake still had an impact on transportation and tourism in Huadong, and many people cancelled their consecutive vacations. This incident also reminded people that disasters can happen at any time and that we need to remain vigilant and adaptable. News headline: Shaking to the point of losing balance. Station anchor calmly broadcast violent shaking on CNN to express his current state of mind. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: United News Network. News highlights: When the Hualien earthquake occurred, Sanli News anchor Zheng Lingyuan responded calmly. Even though the anchor station shook violently, she remained calm and reported. She shared her current state of mind. Although she was a little nervous, she still stood firm. Afterwards, she reflected on her reaction and said she would continue to work hard to fulfill her duties, but also admitted that being at a loss for words was unavoidable. She expressed her gratitude to the reporters and editorial team for their support, emphasizing that news reporting relies on the efforts of the entire team. This incident also made people feel the professionalism of journalists and the importance of teamwork. News headline: Hualien earthquake, capital allocation chaos, the central bank's 364-day time deposit certificate interest rate soared to a 14-year high. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: The central bank auctioned 364-day certificates of deposit on the 3rd, with an amount of 140 billion yuan and an interest rate of 1.352%, a 14-year high since April 2010. It was affected by the central bank's interest rate hike in March, the Hualien earthquake, and the Tomb Sweeping Day holiday. Even other effects. The overnight lending rate also jumped to 0.819%, exceeding a 15-year high, reflecting the chaotic situation of capital allocation. Factors such as the central bank's interest rate hikes, the impact of earthquakes, and uneven capital distribution have caused market interest rates to rise, exacerbating the scheduling difficulties of financial institutions. News headline: Want to buy an earthquake-resistant house? Real estate agent, 25 is the key, only 3 out of 10 households. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Economic Daily. News highlights: The Hualien earthquake has drawn attention to the earthquake resistance of old houses. According to statistics from the Ministry of the Interior, about 70% of the houses in Taiwan are over 25 years old. Housing and commercial organizations have reminded the government to take this issue seriously. The average age of houses in Taipei City is 37.6 years, and the proportion of houses over 25 years old is as high as 79.2%. We need to pay attention to the issue of earthquake resistance. Home buyers may consider new construction and earthquake-resistant homes to ensure safety. Areas with younger housing ages, such as Daowen City and Hsinchu County and City, are also worth considering. News headline: The video of Zhongzheng Bridge being violently shaken went viral. Foreign netizens exclaimed when they saw it, "The quality of Taiwan's projects is also very good." Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Eataday News Cloud. News highlights: A magnitude 7.2 earthquake occurred in Taiwan this morning, causing earthquakes and disasters across Taiwan. Among them, the Zhongzheng Bridge connecting the two norths shook violently, causing foreign netizens to marvel at the excellent quality of Taiwan's engineering. In the video, vehicles on the bridge stopped and waited for the shaking to stop. Foreign netizens expressed surprise at the calmness of Taiwanese people and praised Taiwan's excellent engineering design. People praised Taiwan's outstanding engineering quality and thanked the infrastructure for its performance during the earthquake. News headline: The largest 7.2 earthquake in a century. Experts reveal that there were no earthquakes in the terror subduction zone in the past. The scale may be 8. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Eataday News Cloud. News focus: A 7.2 strong earthquake occurred in Hualien. Earthquake expert Chen Wenchen pointed out that this is the largest earthquake in the area in a century and may affect active faults and trigger larger earthquakes. He pointed out that there are active fault systems on both sides of the east and west, especially the submerged seismic zone in the east, where earthquakes have not occurred in the past but should occur. He called attention to these active faults and the continued aftershocks of the earthquake. In addition, he mentioned that a 7.8 earthquake occurred in 1920, saying that this system may reach magnitude 8, so a high degree of vigilance should be aroused. News headline: Tomb Sweeping Festival is coming. From tomorrow, the rain area will gradually expand across Taiwan, and the thunderstorm bombing time will be revealed. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Dongsan News. News focus: It's hot today, but you need to take advantage of it, because the Tomb Sweeping Day holiday is coming tomorrow, and there will be 2 waves of fronts. The first wave is weak, affecting the northern, eastern half and central mountainous areas, and will pass on Friday. The second wave of front is reported on Saturday, and the rain will expand to the entire Taiwan. The strongest may be from Sunday to next Monday. It is necessary to pay attention to possible landslides and rockfall disasters after earthquakes in mountainous areas. News headline: Traffic surges on national highways after strong earthquake, police reveal the situation. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Dongsan News. News focus: Tomorrow will usher in the Tomb Sweeping Day holiday, but after the 7.2 strong earthquake in Hualien, there has been a flood of returning traffic on the national highway tonight, and there are serious traffic jams on many sections heading south. The speed of National Highway number 1 from Zhongli to Zhubei and number 3 from Nangang System to Yingge System is only 20 to 30 km per hour. Although there are currently no accidents, traffic congestion still requires attention to driving safety. News headline: Experts analyze Xi's call, the White House controls both sides of the CCP. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: The Epoch Times. News highlights: U.S. President Biden and Chinese Communist Party leader Xi Jinping held a telephone conversation. The discussion focused on the Taiwan Strait issue, possible variables in the U.S. election and the South China Sea dispute. Both the White House and China have emphasized the importance of maintaining peace in the Taiwan Strait, rule of law and freedom of navigation in the South China Sea. Expert analysts believe that the talks with Xi will mainly focus on the possible impact of Taiwan's new president's inauguration speech and the U.S. election, as well as the South China Sea dispute. Regarding the first trilateral talks between the United States, Japan, and the Philippines, experts believe that this is a new measure by the United States to contain the CCP in the South China Sea. The Biden administration's frequent contacts with the CCP have been interpreted as a strategy of courtesy first and then war to manage competition and prevent conflicts. In the economic and high-tech fields, the United States restricts the export of advanced technologies to the CCP and adopts sanctions against the CCP's malicious cyber activities. Generally speaking, experts believe that the strategic competition between China and the United States will not change, but we must also pay close attention to the impact of changes in the international situation on the relationship between the two countries. News headline: When will interest rates be cut? Powell talks about the Fed's views. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: The Epoch Times. News highlights: U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Powell said that it will take time to assess the current inflation situation and there is no rush to relax monetary policy. Although recent employment growth and inflation data have been higher than expected, the overall situation has not substantially changed. He predicted that it might be appropriate to start cutting interest rates sometime this year, but more data would be needed to support it. The U.S. Labor Department will release its March employment report on Friday, which will affect the Federal Reserve's assessment of the job market. Powell reiterated that monetary policy will not be influenced by political overtones. Atlanta Fed President Bostic said that interest rates may be cut only once later this year, depending on the data. News headline: A must-have in the kitchen, vinegar is drinkable and has wonderful cleaning and sterilizing properties. Release time: April 1, 2024. Data reference: The Epoch Times. News highlights: Vinegar is not only a seasoning, it's also a natural cleaner. White vinegar has many uses, including preserving flours, making an all-purpose cleaner, removing odors, removing mildew, cleaning pans, removing glue marks on walls, trapping fruit flies, clearing kitchen drains, etc. Budget-conscious housewives can save money and keep their homes clean by using vinegar instead of detergents. News headline: Is it wrong to squat and protect your head with hands during earthquake shaking? Expert: Don't stand here when taking the MRT or tram. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Health 2.0. News highlights: When an earthquake strikes, you should take appropriate measures no matter where you are. If you are on transportation, such as high-speed rail, MRT, or bus, you should try to stay steady and find suitable supports. If you are in an elevator, escalator, or tram, you should hold on to the handrails to maintain balance. When indoors, try to squat, kneel on your elbows and knees, and protect your head with your hands. In addition, for people with mobility impairments, priority should be given to protecting the head and neck and not to move or leave mobility aids easily. In summary, staying calm and taking appropriate action is the most important thing when dealing with an earthquake. News headline: Netizens push Darwin is the safest place to live during an earthquake. Experts believe it is true and why it is revealed. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Yiping News Network. News highlights: The recent 7.2 strong earthquake in Hualien has caused panic across Taiwan. Many people are curious about which county or city is the safest after the earthquake. In past discussions, many people mentioned Darwin, believing that the Darwin Mesa has a gentle terrain, fewer earthquakes, and hard geology, making it less susceptible to earthquakes, so it is considered a safe place to live. Yan Hongyuan, a professor at the Department of Earth Sciences at National Central University, also pointed out that Darwin has no active faults and the strata are mostly made of gravel. The geology is hard, so seismic waves are usually not easily amplified, making Darwin one of the places with the fewest earthquakes in Taiwan. News headline: National Highway Hell. On the first day of consecutive holidays, I'm stuffed early in the morning. Watch 10 major landmines at once. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Yiping News Network. News highlights: On the first day of the Tomb Sweeping Day holiday, the traffic volume on national highways across Taiwan increased significantly. Traffic jams were especially encountered on national highways in the west. The speed on some sections was less than 20 km per hour, and there were even purple bursts. According to the Expressway Bureau's estimates, today's southbound traffic volume will reach 1.6 times the annual average. It also announced 10 major mine road sections, including important road sections such as National 1, National 3, National 5, and National 10. Affected by the Hualien earthquake, the demand for National 5 travel has slightly decreased, but the Expressway Bureau has still implemented a number of diversion measures, calling on passers-by to pay attention to traffic safety, avoid speeding, fatigue, and distracted driving, and to check vehicle conditions in a timely manner. News headline: Taiwan Railway's Yulan to Hualien line is open to traffic ahead of schedule and even on holiday. Add 10 columns. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Yiping News Network. News highlights: The earthquake in Hualien caused the interruption of the Yulan to Hualien section of the Taiwan Railway. In order to cope with the traffic demand during the Qingming Festival holiday, the Taiwan Railway rushed to open the section in advance today and resume normal service on the entire line. The original plan was to run a single line in both directions first, and to clear both lines before noon. However, at 6 o'clock this morning, the Taiwan Railways made every effort to clear both lines, and the entire line was operating normally. At the same time, 10 more express trains will be opened between Yulan and Hualien. However, due to the earthquake, the platform of Hualien Kong Station was damaged and has been temporarily suspended until the structural appraisal is completed. News headline: Top 10 taboos during Qingming Festival, ancestor spirits will return home. Playing firecrackers and playing cards may disturb the ancestors. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Yiping News Network. News highlights: The 10 taboos of Qingming Festival include not entering and exiting old houses at will. Tomb sweeping should be completed before 5 p.m. Avoid going to friends' houses with ancestor memorial tablets. not going home directly after tomb sweeping, sexual intercourse and playing mahjong are prohibited, and keeping quiet. Do not disturb ancestors, do not worship guava, tomatoes, bananas and custard apples. Do not buy shoes and wear them on the mountain on Qingming. Do not take photos to avoid offending ancestors. Those whose birthdays are on Qingming should avoid visiting graves. Do not light incense when accompanied by outsiders who are not relatives to avoid provocation. Ancestral spirits. News headline: Taiwan's donation of 500 million to support the Noto earthquake has just been recorded. Japan network supports, it's our help. Release time: April 3, 2024. Information reference: Free Electronic News. News highlights: Taiwanese people donated more than 2.5 billion yen to support the Noto Peninsula earthquake in Ishikawa Prefecture, Japan. Unfortunately, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck Taiwan on the 3rd, which aroused the attention and support of Japanese netizens. The Taipei Economic and Cultural Representative Office in Japan has remitted the donation to the Ishikawa County government's earthquake disaster account and announced it on the social platform. Japanese netizens expressed their gratitude and expressed their willingness to help Taiwan, calling on Taiwanese people to be safe and sound, while also giving the Japanese a chance to repay Taiwan's help. News headline: Hawick Dam collapsed in last year's classic. Wang Jianmin pointed out the key factors. Release time: April 3, 2024. Information reference: Free Electronic News. News highlights: Wang Jianmin expressed optimism about Taiwanese pitcher Kai Wei-deng, who plays for the San Francisco Giants, believing that he has a good straight ball and slider and has the ability to establish himself in the major leagues. Wang Jianmin pointed out that Deng Kaiwei's poor performance in the Classic last year may be due to the failure to change his mentality in time and the greater pressure on the national team. However, Wang Jianmin believes that Deng Kaiwei's evaluation in the U.S. professional league has always been good, and if he can play with a normal mentality, he should perform well. News headline: China is in deflation. Is it all the fault of the second senior brother? Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: Free Electronic News. News highlights: China has faced the risk of deflation in recent years, mainly due to the continuous decline in pork prices, which has brought another impact on the Chinese economy. Pork occupies an important proportion in China's CPI, and its price changes have a huge impact on CPI figures. The reason for the decline in pork prices may be due to oversupply, which has reduced the income of some migrant workers and blue-collar workers, leading to reduced demand. The Chinese government has begun to adjust the market, but it will still take time for pork prices to stabilize. As market supply and demand balance, pork prices are expected to stabilize in the coming months. News headline: TSMC issued a statement late at night, the recovery rate of wafer fab equipment has exceeded 70%. Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: Free Electronic News. News highlights: TSMC issued a statement after the Taiwan earthquake, stating that the recovery rate of wafer fab equipment has exceeded 70%, and that of new wafer fabs has reached 80%. Although some machines were damaged, the main machine was not damaged. The company said it has extensive experience in response and has invested resources to speed up recovery and maintain communication with customers. Safety measures were taken after the earthquake, and the employees were safe. The factory conditions were initially normal, but the construction site was suspended today pending inspection before resuming construction. News headline: A rare link between AUKUS and Taiwan. U.S. Deputy Secretary of State, it can promote peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: Free Electronic News. News highlights: U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Campbell delivered a speech at a think tank in Washington, pointing out that the Australia-UK-US Trilateral Security Partnership, AUKUS, will help promote peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. He rarely connected Taiwan and AUKUS, emphasizing that AUKUS's submarine capabilities have a major influence on the situation in the Taiwan Strait. In addition, U.S. President Biden will meet with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and Philippine President Marcos Jr. on April 11, which represents a large-scale modernization of U.S.-Japan relations and will lead to closer coordination and contact involving issues such as the South China Sea. News headline: 7.2 Hualien earthquake, 9 dead, 1,050 injured, 101 trapped, 46 missing across the country. Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: Free Electronic News. News highlights: A 7.2 magnitude earthquake occurred in Hualien County yesterday morning, causing 9 deaths, 1,050 injuries, 101 people trapped and 46 missing contacts across the country. The victims included residents of the Taraco area and other locations. Those currently trapped include Jingying employees, tourists, and students, while those who have lost contact include mine workers and Jingying hotel employees. The total number of disasters nationwide included 2,471 cases of collapsed road trees, damaged buildings, and traffic accidents, with 961 people evacuated and 628 people sheltered and resettled. Hualien County, New Taipei City and other places have opened disaster centers at the first level, and other regions have also implemented corresponding response measures. News headline: Only 7 people died in the earthquake. Lai Mingwei was shocked when he heard the conversation between passers-by. How did society change like this? Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: The Hualien earthquake shocked the whole Taiwan, but some people treated the disaster inappropriately. Lai Mingwei witnessed the two people talking disdainfully about the death toll and found it difficult to understand the values of today's society. He called on the public on Facebook not to make the disaster a laughingstock and condemned such words and actions that lacked empathy. Netizens also expressed their indignation and helplessness, believing that such remarks and attitudes are disturbing and reflect the deviation of the values of some parts of society. News headline: Did New Jeans violate labor law when filming their music video in Taipei? The truth about salary 650 yuan exposed. Release time: April 3, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: South Korea's popular girl group New Jeans filmed their music video in Taipei last weekend, which caused a lot of controversy, including fans' requests to delete street photos and staff checking their mobile phones. Taiwan's Jiachen Entertainment Agency came forward to clarify, emphasizing that the actual filming time and salary for the interim performance were in compliance with regulations, and apologized. The company stated that the pre-show shooting time was 2.5 hours and the remuneration was 650 yuan, and emphasized that a portrait rights authorization agreement had been signed to ensure that the shooting went ahead. The company also assumes any liability that may result from any omissions. News headline: The Japanese took action. Yashiki announced a donation of 10 million yuan for disaster relief. Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: On April 3, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake occurred in Taiwan, becoming the strongest since the 921 earthquake. It caused the collapse of many houses in the epicenter of Hualien. As of 10:10 a.m. on the 4th, 9 people had died. 1,050 people were injured, 101 people were trapped, and 46 people were missing. Japanese rock band ex-Japan leader Yashiki announced today that he will donate 10 million yen, approximately NT $2.11 million, to the Taiwan Red Cross to support Taiwan's disaster relief efforts. Yashiki was the first artist to donate to Taiwan after the earthquake. He donated through his own fund, Yashiki Foundation America. In addition, Japanese artist Hiroshi Abe also donated 10 million yen when he came to Taiwan for an endorsement event in 2018. Disaster relief is appreciated and supported. News headline: Why did the national alert not go off despite the magnitude 4 earthquake? Meteorological Administration Super Complete Description. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: On April 3, a magnitude 7.2 earthquake occurred offshore Hualien, Taiwan. The earthquake was felt throughout Taiwan, but some areas did not receive national warnings. The Earthquake Forecasting and Forecasting Center explained that the initial forecast scale was on the low side, including that the magnitude of the Shuangbei earthquake did not meet the release standard. Legislator Lin Zhengxian pointed out that earthquake prediction is not absolute and needs to rely on empirical formulas, and the cost of adding more observation stations is high. The Meteorological Administration stated that the forecast scale of this warning was low and no national warning was issued. The Meteorological Administration is committed to continuously improving the early warning system to provide more accurate warnings and remind the public to take evacuation measures in the event of an earthquake. News headline: 50 employees of Teraco Jingying Hotel found. 3 people arrived at the hotel on foot and reported, "Everyone is safe." Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: After the magnitude 7.2 Ruishi earthquake, 50 employees of Teraco Jingying Hotel lost contact on their way to work, attracting attention from the outside world. The hotel manager reported earlier that the 50 people on the 4 tour buses were safe and sound, and 3 of them had reported the situation on foot. The Minister of the Interior stated that the location of the missing employee has been confirmed to be in the Jukwa Cave on Provincial Highway 8. The special search team has launched a rescue operation and is expected to be able to reach the Jukwa Cave at 2400 hours to understand the situation of the trapped employee. Stay tuned. News headline: Wang Xun is scolded for discrimination. Another attack on the net about Taiwan's 7.2 strong earthquake. Even search and rescue dogs are not as good as. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: After the Hualien earthquake, Chinese journalist Wang Xun once again caused controversy, criticizing Taiwan's housing standards for earthquake protection as inferior to Japan's, and suggesting that the government suppressed him from coming to Taiwan. This remark was once again condemned by netizens, who believed that disasters should not be joked about. They also pointed out that his previous discriminatory remarks had caused public outrage, and this remark made it even worse and unacceptable. News headline: China spent 530,000 to help elect legislators. It's great to be re-elected. He claimed the credit and had to go back to Nanning to receive the award. It was a disaster. Release time: April 2, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: Li Shangdian and Guo Peijian, chairman of the Cross-Strait Ethnic Minority Exchange Association in Hualien County, were accused of accepting funding from the Taiwan Affairs Office of Guangxi in mainland China to provide voters with free travel to Guangxi in exchange for supporting Kuomintang legislator Zheng Tiankei's re-election bid. After the investigation, the couple was charged under the anti-infiltration law, accusing them of using the name of communication for personal gain. Li and Guo both confessed and returned their income. Zheng Tiankei said that Li was not his core cadre. News headline: Hypocrisy. The Taiwan Affairs Office of the State Council said it was concerned about the earthquake in Taiwan and was willing to help with disaster relief. 3 communist planes and 7 communist ships came to disturb Taiwan again. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: After the 7.2 strong earthquake in Hualien yesterday, China's Taiwan Affairs Office expressed its willingness to provide disaster relief assistance. However, the latest military updates released by the Ministry of National Defense showed that the CCP's military aircraft and ships continued to operate around the Taiwan Strait, showing hypocrisy. The Mainland Affairs Council responded by thanking the concern but not requiring assistance. Our national military closely monitors and responds, emphasizing the defense of national security. China's words and deeds have once again exposed its double standards and hypocrisy. News headline: Emergency itinerary changed due to strong earthquake. The current situation of huge crowds in Kenting and Xiaoliokyu is exposed. Hotel operator: we can't pick you up either. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlights: After the strong earthquake in Hualien, Kenting and Xiaoliokyu became popular choices for changing itineraries. Kenting hotels and B&B operators have been flooded with inquiries, and the number of southbound trains has already exceeded 3,300. Affected by the interruption of Zhongheng Highway and Suhua Highway, the traffic flow on the South Link Highway was huge. Boat tourists appeared at Donggang Pier early in the morning, and it is estimated that the number of people visiting the island on the first day of the holiday will exceed 10,000. Xiaoliokyu B&B is fully booked, and it is difficult to book motorcycles, but the hoteliers said they cannot accommodate more transfer guests. News headline: Looking forward to it. Apple abandons electric cars, rumored to launch personal home robot. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Sanli News Network. News highlight: After Apple gave up its electric car plan, it is now turning to the development of home robots. This is an important new project that Apple engineers are working on, a robot that can follow users around the home. As the smartphone market becomes saturated, Apple seeks new sources of revenue, and home robots have become one of its important directions. Although the mixed reality headset Vision Pro was launched, it was expensive and Apple still hopes to find more affordable products. The electric car plan was started in 2014, but was eventually abandoned. Now it is turning to the research and development of home robots, making Apple fans look forward to Apple once again bringing making new products. News headline: Beijing nurse sacrificed herself to protect newborn despite strong earthquake. Netizens praised angels. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: During the Hualien earthquake, a nurse from a medical institution in Taipei released a video showing how to protect newborns during an earthquake. The video shows the nurses expertly centering the stroller and responding calmly even when faced with violent shaking. Netizens were moved and praised them, treating them as real angels and thanking them for protecting the safety of their children during the earthquake. Nurses joked that babies who yawn might think they are sleeping in a crib. This touching picture aroused admiration and gratitude from netizens, who expressed their highest respect for all medical staff. News headline: The cabinet girl is super snobbish. Ignoring a high school girl's customer's lipstick that was used and thrown away, the internet reveals the hidden rules of the boutique industry. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News highlights: A female high school student broke the news on guard and accused her of receiving indifferent service at a boutique counter in a Taichung department store. The lady at the counter even threw lipstick to her for reference. Although she is only a high school student, she has an allowance of 5,000 yuan a week and is not careless about consumption. Netizens expressed the same sentiment and believed that this attitude should not exist towards any customer. However, some netizens speculated that the attitude of the counter-sister may be related to performance considerations, but the astonishing pocket money of female high school students also aroused envy and discussion among netizens. News headline: Taboo for tomb sweeping during Qingming Festival. Do not do this when sweeping graves during menstruation. Grave sweeping clothes and fruits also have eyebrows. Release time: April 2, 2024. Data reference: Yahoo News. News focus: Qingming Festival is an important festival for worshipping ancestors and sweeping tombs, but there are many taboos that need to be paid attention to during this process. For example, pregnant women, young children, and sick people should not go to cemeteries. Women do not need to avoid grave sweeping during their menstrual period, but they must exercise caution. They should avoid wearing brightly colored or revealing clothes, and forbidden fruits for grave sweeping include pineapples, bananas, etc. In addition, do not take photos, curse, or call out your full name casually, and you should wash your hands and wash your clothes in time after sweeping the grave to remove bad luck. Following these taboos can ensure a smooth process of sweeping tombs and worshipping ancestors, while showing respect for ancestors. News headline: Cross-party U.S. lawmakers are concerned about Taiwan earthquake disaster and tweet to support Taiwan's strong recovery. Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: FTV News. News highlights: The Hualien earthquake has attracted international attention, and Bloomberg reported that it may have an impact on the technology industry and the global economy. The White House stated that the United States is concerned about the safety of its people and is ready to provide assistance and is not focused on the economic impact. Cross-party lawmakers have tweeted support for Taiwan's recovery and emphasized cooperation with Taiwan. Among them, Senator Weicker questioned NBC's classification of Taiwan as part of China, causing controversy. White House Secretary Jean-Pierre Champier said that the United States is ready to provide necessary assistance and shows its care and support for Taiwan. News headline: Hualien's land transportation is completely cut off. Wang Qaki revealed an alternative plan, 4/6 for small cars and 4/10 for large cars. Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: FTV News. News focus: A 7.2 magnitude earthquake occurred in Hualien County, causing the Suhua Highway to be closed entirely. President Tsai Ing-wen, Minister of Transportation Wang Qaki, and Executive Yuan Vice President Zhang Wenquan inspected the disaster situation. Wang Qaki revealed that small vehicles are expected to pass on April 6, and large vehicles will be able to pass on April 10. President Tsai emphasized that transportation units closely monitor the safety situation and respond immediately. The high-speed rail and Taiwan Railway have resumed operation, but the Suhua Highway is still closed, and the central and local governments are fully cooperating for emergency repairs. The Ministry of Transportation has launched shipping and air transportation measures. President Tsai thanked all colleagues for their hard work and called for continued efforts to ensure people's peace of mind and safety. News headline: The Suhua Shui Cliff collapsed due to a strong earthquake. Chen Huiven scolded, "Are we second-class citizens?" Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: The Hualien earthquake caused a huge landslide at the entrance of the Suhua Highway, causing serious traffic disruptions. Media person Chen Huiven pointed out that there are collinear sections on the Suhua Highway, and the road sections were seriously damaged due to maintenance difficulties. He questioned why Hualien's road construction was not as good as other areas, criticized the current road network design as unreasonable, and called for improvements in Hualien's transportation infrastructure. Chen Huiven also mentioned that Liking had protested against local financial planning laws in the past, but after taking office in the Executive Yuan, he stopped actively promoting reforms, which aroused social concern. News headline: Terror subduction zone has not had an earthquake in 40 years. Authoritative scholar: An earthquake may have a scale of 8. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: After yesterday's magnitude 7.2 earthquake, Chen Wenquan, an honorary professor at the Department of Geology at National Taiwan University, warned that nearby active faults may be triggered, especially in the eastern subduction zone system where there have been no earthquakes for a long time. Once it occurs, it may reach magnitude 8, triggering a tsunami. Chen pointed out that aftershocks observed in the past have affected the Central Mountains Fault, and the Eastern Fault system has been quiescent for a long time and should be taken seriously. Historically, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake occurred in 1920. Similar types of earthquakes may also trigger tsunamis in addition to the earthquake itself. News headline: The more you sweat, the faster you will get better from a cold? Medical answer: Do one thing to speed up recovery. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: China Times News Network. News highlights: It is not correct to sweat more when you have a cold. Although exercise can prevent colds, it does not help speed up recovery, but may aggravate symptoms. Doctors point out that sweating after exercise is different from sweating when a fever subsides, and it does not help recovery from the disease. During a cold, you should focus on rest and avoid exercise to avoid aggravating the condition. Nutritionists recommend taking in more vitamins A, C, high-quality protein and other nutrients to help relieve inflammatory symptoms and promote physical recovery. News headline: Is there an earthquake fault near my home? 3 steps to check the chance of earthquakes in Taiwan's fault zones. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: Through the Active Fault GIS query system of the Central Geological Survey of the Ministry of Economic Affairs, the public can enter an address to check whether the location is located on a fault zone. The steps include entering the system, confirming that the earthquake information and fault layers are displayed, and then using the positioning function to enter an address or landmark, and the system will display the fault conditions near the location. This tool can provide the public with more information about earthquake risks, helping to prepare for disasters and avoid potentially dangerous areas. News headline: Children's sleep quality affects 5 major aspects of physical and mental development. National Normal University Survey: Nearly 60% of children go to bed too late. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: Experts point out that modern parents generally ignore their children's sleep. However, sleep is extremely important for physical and mental development. Research from Taiwan Normal University shows that young children generally do not get enough sleep, especially those who go to bed late at night, which is detrimental to their physical and mental development. The number of sleep-deprived young children is increasing, and sleep quality is also affected, which has a significant impact on cognitive, language, social, emotional, body movement and other development aspects. It is recommended that parents pay attention to their children's sleep, provide a diverse learning environment, and reduce the use of electronic products to ensure their children's sleep quality and promote their healthy growth. News headline: Earthquake, natural disaster emergencies and network failure, how to save yourself. Prepare a few things first on weekdays. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: The author, a former Secret Service agent who protected the daughter of the President of the United States, shared a personal security plan. He stressed the importance of shelters, including hospitals, police stations, fire stations, and rendezvous. In the event of an emergency, these places provide safety and necessary resources and are worth knowing and preparing for in advance. The author recommends not relying on technology, but familiarizing yourself with routes and shelter locations in advance to prepare for possible emergencies. News headline: Why did Taipei feel more shaken during the earthquake? Hu Liang, caused by the multiplication of resonance effect and this defect. Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: Due to the basin effect and soil liquefaction problems in the Greater Taipei area, surface vibrations intensify during earthquakes, which are especially likely to affect high-rise buildings. Buildings with 12 to 16 floors are most susceptible to resonance effects. Soil liquefaction causes the soil to lose its bearing capacity, causing houses to tilt or collapse. In addition, seismic resistance coefficient inspections have not been carried out in most areas, and the safety of old buildings is questionable. Therefore, in response to earthquake risks, in addition to updating earthquake-resistant building standards, attention should also be paid to the detection and improvement of old buildings to ensure people's living safety. News headline: AI can warn earthquakes at the speed of light, but why is there little chance that Taiwan will use the new technology? Release time: April 3, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: Earthquakes occur frequently in Taiwan, and early warning systems are crucial to reducing damage. A French research team proposed using instantaneous gravity signals transmitted at the speed of light as a new method for early warning of earthquakes and tsunamis, which is highly accurate in predicting the scale of major earthquakes. However, this technology still faces many challenges, including weak signals and the need for highly sensitive instruments, environmental interference, and the observation of long-period signals. Nonetheless, strengthening the research and observation of instantaneous gravity signals, combined with existing earthquake monitoring technology, will help develop a more comprehensive and reliable earthquake early warning system and improve the ability to respond to earthquake disasters. News headline: Death rate is lower during recession. Study: The key lies in pollution improvement. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlight: Mortality rates decline during recessions and last at least a decade, study shows. This counterintuitive phenomenon may be related to the reduction of environmental pollution, especially the improvement of air quality. During recessions, people experience less stress at work, commuting and working less, which in turn reduces daily stress. In addition, the economic downturn has led to reduced energy consumption, further improving air quality. This improvement is particularly important for lower-income people without college degrees and for older adults, who often live in areas with higher levels of environmental toxins and are at higher risk for cardiovascular disease. Therefore, these studies emphasize that economic growth should not be used as the only criterion for measuring collective well-being. News headline: Happy Children's Day. McDonald's free ice cream cone is limited to 3 hours today. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Eat a Day News Cloud. News highlights: McDonald's launched a special event on Children's Day. Parents who bring their children under 12 years old to the store to complete parent-child tasks can receive free ice cream cone redemption coupons. The event time is from 2 to 5 p.m. today, and each store is limited 100 pieces. In addition, Pizza Hut also launched a Children's Day limited offer. Children with a height of 100 centimeters can enjoy a buy one get one free 1-meter jumbo box when they measure their height in the store and upload a photo. Each store is limited to 4 sets. The offer is also limited to today. News headline: Strong earthquake and landslide create deadly dust. The magic car breaks out of the dust, does not forget to turn on the turn signal. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Eat a Day News Cloud. News highlights: A 7.2 magnitude earthquake hit Hualien, triggering a landslide in Kong Mountain. A white SUV narrowly escaped amid billowing smoke and dust. The video showed that the owner of the car still turned on the blinker even in a life-or-death situation. Netizens praised his calm response. Netizens identified the car as the Japanese Nissan X-Trail, which sparked heated discussions. News headline: The damage caused by the 7.2 strong earthquake in Taiwan was relatively low. The French praised the strict earthquake resistance regulations. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Dongsan News. News highlights: The 7.2 magnitude earthquake in Hualien, Taiwan attracted international attention. French media lamented that Taiwanese houses are highly earthquake resistant. Experts said this highlights the importance of strict earthquake-resistant regulations. Compared with the serious losses caused by other earthquakes, the number of casualties and disasters in Taiwan were relatively light. The founder of the French International Emergency Relief Association pointed out that Taiwan is accustomed to earthquakes and most buildings are earthquake-resistant, which reduces injuries. European Union Executive Commission researchers also praised Taiwan's preparedness and resilience against natural disasters. French netizens expressed surprise at Taiwan's earthquake resistance and thought the earthquake-resistant effects of buildings were impressive. News headline: God predicted the 403 earthquake. The numerologist is horrified and warns again about the power of Mercury retrograde Ganda. The roar becomes more intense. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News. News highlights: Numerologist Li Jingwei predicted the possibility of natural disasters such as earthquakes and tsunamis last month, and mentioned that Mercury retrograde pressure will continue to increase, calling on the public to pay attention to safety. She pointed out that Mercury retrograde and total solar eclipse will meet on April 8, and specifically warned that tsunamis may occur in the eastern and northern seas from April 3 to April 15. People should avoid seaside activities, and boats and fishermen should also be careful. Regarding natural disasters, she mentioned that although she could not control them, she hoped to minimize the damage. News headline: Continuous fake rush. Chuanlian salmon sale 60 yuan RT Mart buy one get one free on 900 items. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News. News highlights: Chuanlian launched the Everything Goes Wish You Festival holiday promotion, offering 800 bonus points for every 1,000 spent at physical stores and during the hour, including daily necessities, fresh food, vegetables, desserts, etc., and there are many super discounts. RT Mart simultaneously launched a buy one get one free offer for 900 products, and there is a NT $500 discount on summer electrical appliances. Meilianchi has launched a limited time coffee promotion, buy one get one free for large espresso series coffee, and the newly launched freshly made tea also has a promotion of NT $25 for large cups. News headline: Number 1 among the heads of the 6 capitals. He announced to donate 1 month's salary for disaster relief. We are all Hualien people at this moment. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: TVBS News. News highlights: A 7.2 strong earthquake hit Hualien, killing 143 people trapped, and thousands injured. Kaohsiung Mayor Chen Chi-mai took the lead in announcing that he would donate 1 month's salary to fully support the victims and reconstruction. The Kaohsiung city government dispatched a special search team to assist with search, rescue, and reconstruction. Chen Chi-mai thanked the special search team for their hard work and called for attention to safety. Many companies have donated money, including Terrigo's donation of 60 million and Honha's donation of 80 million. All walks of life in Taiwan have shown solidarity to support the disaster in Hualien. News headline: 7.2 the strongest in a century. Experts reveal that the terror subduction zone has not experienced earthquakes in 40 years, the scale may reach 8. Release time, April 4, 2024. Data reference, TVBS News. News focus, a 7.2 strong earthquake occurred in Hualien, causing buildings to tilt and collapse, the Sihua Highway to break, and aftershocks continued. Geological expert Chen Wenchen pointed out that this is the largest earthquake in a century. It has revealed the eastern subduction zone that has not had earthquakes for 30 to 40 years, and may trigger an 8-magnitude earthquake or even a tsunami. He called on dangerous old buildings to pay special attention, pointing out that earthquakes frequently affect active faults and there may be continued aftershocks in the next 6 months. News title, 403 vs 921, which earthquake was bigger? Earthquake Center admits it is the strongest in 25 years. Release time, April 3, 2024. Data reference, TVBS News. News focus, the 403 Hualien earthquake, with a Richter scale of 7.2, the epicenter was located offshore, and the damage was severe. Compared with the 921 earthquake in 1999, the earthquake resistance of buildings at that time was not as good as it is today, and the epicenter was on land, causing a greater impact. Seismological experts pointed out that the frequency of aftershocks of this earthquake was higher, but the energy release was similar to that of 921. The Earthquake Science Center reminds that there may be more aftershocks in the next month, and the energy accumulation on the eastern and western faults is high, so we need to be more vigilant. Earthquakes are a common event in Taiwan, and people should always remain vigilant. News headline, the 7.2 strong shock shocked the whole Taiwan/nursing physical protection to an old woman with cerebral hemorrhage. My son looked at the monitor, I was very touched. Release time, April 4, 2024. Data reference, Zhongtian News. News highlights, yesterday, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake occurred in Hualien, with a magnitude of 5.0 in both north and south. An Indonesian nurse used his body to protect a 70-year-old woman during the earthquake. Her employer was moved to post the surveillance footage. After the video was released, it caused heated discussions. Netizens praised the caregiver's kindness and were moved. They praised her as a kind girl and the best sister. This scene shows the great love in the world and touched the hearts of many people. News headline, the latest poll is out. Tsai Ing-wen's satisfaction level drops below the threshold. Release time, April 4, 2024. Data reference, Zhongtian News. News highlights, according to the latest national political poll conducted by Beautiful Island Electronic News in March, 52.2% of the people are satisfied with President Tsai Ing-wen's governance performance, of which 14.5% said they were very satisfied and 37.7% said they were fairly satisfied. On the contrary, 44.3% of the people are dissatisfied with President Tsai's governance performance, of which 22.0% are very dissatisfied and 22.3% are somewhat dissatisfied. In terms of trust, 51.4% of the people expressed trust in President Tsai, while 42.7% expressed distrust. As President Tsai is about to leave office on May 20 next month, these materials have triggered widespread discussion. News headline, 7.2 strong earthquake shakes Taiwan/we warned of a major earthquake in March. Anon's classmate Li Jingwei suffered another natural disaster, don't go to the beach. Release time, April 4, 2024. Data reference, Zhongtian News. News highlights, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake hit Hualien yesterday, causing tremors across Taiwan. Astrologer Li Jingwei predicted as early as last month that natural disasters such as earthquakes and tsunamis may occur, and reminded the public to pay attention to safety. She pointed out that Mercury retrograde in Aries may lead to unexpected conflicts or natural disasters, and yesterday's strong earthquake happened to occur during Mercury retrograde. Li Jingwei once again warned that as Mercury retrograde continues, especially after the total solar eclipse on April 8, the risk of tsunami may increase. She called on people in the eastern and northern waters of Taiwan to be alert to aftershocks, and called on maritime vehicles and fishermen to be cautious, and people to avoid activities near the seaside to reduce possible harm. News headline, does growing vegetables at home also have carbon rights? Read 11 key questions about carbon rights at once. Release time, April 1, 2024. Data reference, Vision Magazine. News highlights, Taiwanese companies should be prepared for the carbon fee that will be levied in 2025 and the EU Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, CBAM, that will be launched in 2026. Last year was the first year of carbon trading in Taiwan. The carbon exchange was unveiled and launched an international carbon rights trading platform. The Ministry of Environment has proposed a carbon fee charging method, which is expected to be levied in 2025. Experts in academia and industry recommend that companies internalize carbon emission costs, because external costs that are not internalized will affect global temperatures and bring about major ecological and social changes. Carbon pricing is an effective way to reduce carbon, and the carbon exchange provides services such as carbon reduction credit trading, international carbon rights trading, and carbon consulting to help companies cope with the challenges of climate change. News headline: Biodiversity is key to net zero carbon emissions. Only 18 companies in Taiwan have invested in TNFD. Release time: April 2, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: TNFD is one of the important strategies for global net zero emissions, but only a few companies in Taiwan participate, and less than 4% have set biodiversity targets, showing that companies are insufficiently responsive. Experts point out that TNFD requires companies to assess ecological impacts and propose countermeasures, which is crucial for sustainable development. The industry also calls on the Taiwan government to require companies to disclose TNFD as soon as possible to promote full participation. Taiwan should strengthen the concept of forestry management, effectively manage forest resources, and encourage enterprises to carry out ecological restoration to promote the protection of biodiversity. News headline: March carbon fee plan released, target delayed. However, the recruitment may still start as scheduled in 2025. Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: the Ministry of Environment held the second carbon fee rate review meeting on March 26, and decided to increase the carbon fee rate in stages from 2030 to give industries a clear price signal and guide the medium and long-term carbon reduction path. At the same time, a report on international carbon pricing cases will be made and the discussion will be postponed to the April meeting. However, the LNG terminal project involving coastal ecology may face suspension. In this regard, the environmental group called on the government to rethink energy policy. In addition, Taiwan's 11% increase in electricity prices has attracted attention, but it has limited impact on inflation and will help enhance the competitiveness of Taiwan's energy policy. A technological breakthrough in recycled graphite powder produced by Tunghai University and Chu Li Technology is expected to enhance Taiwan's energy self-sufficiency. In addition, Line collaborated with a well-known director on the ecological documentary Sleeping Underwater Giant to warn of Taiwan's marine ecological crisis and call for the protection of marine culture. News headline: Drill immediately if elected. Trump boasts, why is it still difficult to sway Biden's Green New Deal? Release time: March 28, 2024. Data reference: Vision Magazine. News highlights: at a U.S. energy conference, the oil and gas industry expressed dissatisfaction with the Biden administration, but they are skeptical that Trump can change the Green New Deal if he is re-elected. Even if Trump promises to start drilling immediately after returning to the White House, the oil industry believes that even so, energy policy will not change significantly. In addition, because oil companies have invested heavily in net zero carbon emission technologies and are supported by government subsidies, it will be difficult for Trump to influence current policies even if he is elected. At the same time, global warming threatens penguin populations. Bird flu viruses have been detected in Antarctic penguins, and experts are worried that they will spread to other species. Vietnam has returned to coal due to energy shortages and increased imports due to lobbying by foreign chambers of commerce. Finally, Renault plans to become the first European carmaker to recycle electric vehicle batteries to reduce dependence on Chinese metal raw materials. News headline: Come on, Taiwan. Japanese donations surge, so much in one day. Release time: April 4, 2024. Data reference: Yiping News Network. News highlights: the magnitude 7.2 earthquake in Hualien attracted attention in Japan, and people donated generously, with donations exceeding 40 million yen. As of Thursday afternoon, more than 20,000 people had donated, and the amount is still increasing rapidly. The Japanese non-profit organization Peace Wines Japan stated that the donation will be used for material support such as food emergency and reconstruction of disaster areas. Japanese netizens left messages of support for Taiwan, demonstrating the friendship between the two countries. News headline: Taiwanese writer Kuruzawa meets Song Joong-ki by chance. The male god actively cares about the earthquake disaster is super warm. Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: a major earthquake occurred yesterday, shaking the whole Taiwan. Woo Dan-ru shared the story of her writer friend Lee Heng-jia, who happened to meet Korean star Song Joong-ki in Kuruzawa. According to Woo Dan-ru, Lee Heng-jia happened to meet Song Joong-ki at the hotel. When taking the photo, Song Joong-ki cared about Taiwan and wished Taiwan well, which was touching. For this unexpected encounter, netizens expressed their envy and luck. Woo Dan-ru also expressed her envy and revealed that she is a fan of Song Joong-ki. News headline: Can earthquakes happen? Zhonglan tearfully celebrated that Wang Xiaofei bought the best earthquake-resistant building in Taiwan and the whole internet was criticized. Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: Big S and Wang Xiaofei have been divorced for nearly 3 years, but the war between them has never stopped. Wang Xiaofei had made trouble downstairs in Big SS mansion many times, and reported Big SS drug abuse to the police station. Recently, Wang Xiaofei announced that her marriage proposal was successful, and the outside world thought that their conflicts would subside. However, Big SS ex-mother-in-law Zhang Lan spoke out again. After the major earthquake in Taiwan, Zhang Lan expressed worry about her family in Taipei during a live broadcast, and said that the house they chose was the best one in Taiwan to withstand earthquakes. However, these remarks attracted criticism from the outside world. Although Zhang Lan tried to take the sweet route, netizens still didn't buy it and thought she was just sensationalizing. Zhang Lan finally said that everything would be fine, but netizens ridiculed her that she should pay child support in time and still owe others money. At the same time, there is news that Wang Xiaofei's fiancée Mandy is pregnant, but it has not been confirmed yet. News headline: The first person in Hong Kong. Actor donates RMB 1 million for disaster relief, reasons behind revealed. Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News highlights: Hong Kong singer Tyson Yoshi has been developing his music career in Taiwan for 6 years. In recent years, he has penetrated deeply into the Taiwan market. He not only holds solo concerts and promotions in Taipei, but also actively participates in campus performances and rents a house in Taipei for a long time to devote himself to his music career. Yesterday, a 7.2 magnitude earthquake occurred in Taiwan, causing serious damage. Tyson Yoshi was grateful for the support of Taiwanese fans and for his music to be recognized, so he decided to donate $1 million to help Hualien rebuild. When the earthquake happened, he happened to be in a rental house in Taipei. He was so frightened that he got up from the bed and hid under the table. Although he has experienced earthquakes in Taiwan many times before, the power of yesterday's earthquake frightened him. He said that this was the third time he had experienced an earthquake. The first 2 times were when he came to Taiwan for quarantine during the epidemic. However, the scale of this earthquake made him feel very serious, so he came up with the idea of helping. Due to the support from fans in Taiwan and his love for Hualien, he hopes to do his part in the earthquake disaster. News headline: Good luck with Qingming charging. 3 Chinese zodiac signs are prosperous after taking the holidays, happy events come in succession, they get promoted and get divorced. Release time: April 4, 2024. Information reference: TVBS Entertainment Headlines. News focus: The numerology column of Soho.com pointed out that after the Qingming festival, 3 zodiac signs will usher in very strong luck for nobles and wealth. The first is those born in the year of the tiger. They may face challenges and changes, but as long as they remain calm and confident, they can seize opportunities and overcome difficulties. In terms of relationships, singles are expected to meet their ideal lover, while those with partners need to actively communicate to avoid misunderstandings. The second is snake people. They may usher in a period of career growth, but they may encounter setbacks in relationships and need more communication. Finally, there are monkeys, who will become relaxed and happy, have a rich social life and unexpected career opportunities. In terms of relationships, single people are expected to meet romantic encounters, and those with partners may enter the next stage.